PL 2026-02330, householder planning permission at 1 Weavers Close, Chippenham, demolition of existing conservatory and replaced with a single-storey extension. Councillors Bragg, Massey and Owen, please.
Thank you, Chair. There are no comments on the planning portal and I have no objections.
Thank you. Councillor Massey, Councillor Bragg.
Thank you, Chair. I have no objections.
Thank you.
Like my fellow councillors, no objections. There's
No
nothing
objection.
to comment on. Yep.
Would any other councillors care to comment on this? Happy with no, sorry, Councillor Punty said do beg your pardon. Please go ahead.
I have no objection.
Thank you. So I think we're hearing a proposal for no objection from the three ward councillors and from Councillor Puntis. Anyone? Everyone agree with that? Yeah. Okay. So that's no objection. Thank you. PL 2026-02356, listed building consent at 29 Langley Road, Chippenham, replacing the entirety of the rear extensions beams, coping stones and tiling, and a change in arrangement of both side windows, doors and proposed roof windows of that same extension. And that's an amendment to PL 2021-10623. We have officer comments initially, please.
Thank you, Chair. So the minor alterations proposed would unlikely harm the significance of the listed building and would preserve the special character and appearance of Chippenham Conservation Area in accordance with policy TC4 of the neighbourhood plan. So the advice would be no objection to this one. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I'll come to Councillor Rutledge, please.
Thank you, Chair. I had a quick look at the plans. I've had a look at the site. I can't see that there's anything to disagree with what the officer has suggested, so I have no objections.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to add anything? So we'll go with the officer comments and no objection. Is that all right with everybody? Thank you very much. Moving on to PL 2026-01944. Full planning permission at Morrison's, West Keppen Way, Chippenham, creation of an EV charging zone, substation enclosure, LV panel, meter cabinet and associated works. We have officer comments initially, please.
Thank you, Chair. The proposed installation of EV charging spaces is welcomed in terms of providing public EV charging points and aiding the shift to electric vehicles and reducing carbon emissions. As per policy T3 of the neighbourhood plan, it's requested that the applicant confirms that the proposed charge points would be fully accessible to all potential users, including disabled people, those with reduced mobility and older people, in line with the latest relevant technical standards, these being PAS 1899/2022, Electric Vehicles Accessible Charging Specification. The submitted site layout plan indicates that an EV canopy would be installed. Elevation plans to show the canopy over the proposed EV charging spaces is required. If not already proposed, it's requested that this be a solar canopy to help generate the electricity required to supply the facility. The reduction in 20 car parking spaces serving the store arising as a result of the proposal would unlikely result in any material increase in off-site parking, with the remaining car park being large enough to accommodate the parking demand for this store. So the advice for this one would be to support it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. I'll come to Councillor Puntis and Councillor Findlay. If you wish to comment, I'll come to you after that, but you don't have to. Thanks.
Thank you, Chair. I agree with the very sensible suggestions made by our planning officer, and I have no objection other than to add those comments. Thank you.
Would you like to comment at all, Councillor Findlay?
Well, I actually agree with what Andy said as well. And I just want to say, I actually work at Morrison's as the hygiene manager. So it's not going to make any difference to me.
Thank you for declaring that anyway. Would anybody else like to add anything to what we've heard? So the officer comment included a recommendation for supporting, and the local member recommended no objection. I don't know, Councillor Puntis, if you're happy to go with support. Agreement with that? Yeah, okay, so we'll go with support and your comments, for which I appreciate. PL 2026-01244. That's listed building consent at 43 to 45 London Road, Chippenham, a replacement of external windows and doors. We have officer comments on this one first, please.
Thank you. So subject to Wiltshire Council's Conservation Officer being satisfied that replacement is the only remaining viable option for any original windows, the proposed windows and doors would unlikely harm the significance of the listed building. The Chippenham Conservation Area Character Appraisal explains that the building's stone and railing frontage and varied roof form positive and attractive elements in the street scene. The proposed development would not result in any changes to these features and would preserve the special character and appearance of the conservation area in accordance with policy TC4 of the neighbourhood plan. So the advice would be no objection. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Councillor Rutledge.
Thank you, Chair. Again, I had a quick look at the plans. They appear to be replacing like for like, and they're doing it properly in timber, which is going to cost them a pretty penny. But it's nice to see that they're actually doing that. So I have no objection.
Thank you for that. Anybody else like to add anything? You happy to go with no objection with the officer's comments that we've heard in that case? Yeah, okay, thank you. And then we have amended plans, PL 2026-01393. That's household planning permission at 8 Villiers Close, Chippenham. A single story extension to the side of the house. And we do have officer comments first, please.
Thank you, Chair. So councillors will recall objecting to this application previously. The amended plans that have now been submitted have the building, the lower half in render, but the upper half of the building remaining in brickwork, and the wooden cladding has gone from the extension. So I think we'd now welcome the change in exterior materials and remove the previous objection would be the recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Councillor Findlay.
Councillor Murray hasn't said anything to me about this one, so no objection.
So you're with no objection. Anybody else like to add anything? So I think we're hearing proposal for no objection with the officer's comments. Is that right with everybody? Great, thank you very much. That is actually all we have in the planning applications this time. So secondly, to consider whether request be made to the Wiltshire Council ward member to call in any of the attached planning applications for consideration by the Northern Area Planning Committee. No. And thirdly, to note the appeal for planning application PL 2025-09769. That was householder planning permission for 74 Eastern Avenue, Chippenham, for a radio antenna, and a copy is attached to your agenda papers. Right, so we move on to agenda item 6, which is the permanent pavement licence consultation. Consider a permanent pavement licence for Coffee Gems at 1 Marketplace. The application is attached to the agenda papers, and the guidance on making representation is attached to Appendix B, and I would draw colleagues' attention to that. Are you going to take us through that? Thank you. No? Who's going to take us through it? Nobody. All right. Andy's going to take us through. Perfect, thank you very much.
Yeah, so in terms of what is being proposed, hours wise, they're proposing 9 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock night, Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock in the morning to 7:30 on Saturdays, 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock on Sundays, and 9 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the evening on bank holidays. There would be 7 tables 14 chairs. And the seating area would extend to about 3.5 metres deep. That's probably the basics. Thank you.
Thank you for that. So that will be Councillor Rutledge to comment in the first instance, please.
On the face of it, this seems quite reasonable. Is the spacing between the map sign on the pavement and that's 21 what?
It's 2.1 metres.
It's 2.1 metres. That's not too bad, is it?
Yeah, so the recommended distance is usually 2 metres.
Okay.
So to allow 2 wheelchairs to
Sure.
move through.
Sure. Okay. On that basis, I have no objection to this.
Thank you, and thanks for getting that clarification. Would anybody else like to add? Councillor Owen.
Thank you, Chair. I'm in favour of allowing a high street retailer to ply their trade. I'm slightly concerned actually not at the 2.1 metre gap, but actually there's a planter which appears to have a gap of less than 2 metres and there are bollards. And I'm just wondering whether there is rather a lot of street furniture on what is the lower side of 4 tables and not a lot of space in between. So pedestrians walking up the high street are going to have to navigate through the past the front of the seats, through the bollards, round a planter, or take a gap that is rather small. I'm not suggesting there is necessarily a problem. It's really just an observation. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Anybody else like to add anything? Councillor Cousins.
Thank you. I take on board what Councillor Owens just said. Important points to consider. I feel that anything to improve the offer of Chippenham Town Centre is positive. We've got other businesses in the area doing similar things, and it just improves the town centre for visitors and makes it more of an attraction for the town to have this outside seating area. So I very much support what we've got here, but taking into account the bollard situation, if people other than with more skills and understanding than myself consider that that's an issue, then maybe that needs to be looked at.
Thank you. So Councillor Rutledge.
I would just like to point out that actually for pretty much all the time, the hours that are proposing to be open, the road will actually be closed and effectively pedestrianised.
I think that's a helpful comment as well. Thank you for that. Are we ready to take a proposal on this one? Councillor Rutledge, perhaps you propose that we accept it. Yeah. All in favour? Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. That was difficult, wasn't it? Right. Good. So then we come on to agenda item 7, which is the Royal British Legion County Parade consultation. And we've heard from the representative earlier to consider the observations or raise concerns in relation to the Royal British Legion's annual county parade. The event is scheduled to take place on the High Street on Sunday, 19th of July, 2026. And you can see the application supporting documents attached. Anyone like to, this is really the whole town. So did you want to say anything on that? No. Okay, any comments on this one? Councillor Finlay.
I just wanted to say we have a really good rapport with the RBL, so I don't see why we should have any problems with this.
Sorry, Councillor Pontus.
As a son and a grandson of 2 service people and Navy and Royal Marines, we all know that the number of veterans are getting less and less as time goes on for obvious reasons. And I just think that anything like this that raises the awareness to everybody, including the younger generation, is a good thing. And I wholly support this.
Thank you. Councillor Rutledge.
I just wanted to comment that it's interesting. This is actually classified as a sporting event.
Indeed. Yeah. I'm not sure we can do much about that. Anybody like to make a proposal on this one then? I'll come to Councillor Findlay, I think, and then Councillor Punch.
Support.
Thank you. Was that a second for the supporting? Thank you. So all in favour? Great, thank you very much. So that's okay. And good. Then the following items are to note. Questions may be asked for clarification purposes only. So agenda item 8, confirmed orders, extinguishment of footpath Chippenham 107. To note the confirmed orders, copies attached, which have the effect of extinguishing the footpath Chippenham 107 in the vicinity of Abbeyfield School in connection with the expansion of the school site. And my understanding is that it's because that area will be incorporated into the school site anyway. Then agenda item 9, was there any questions for clarification? I'm happy with that. Okay, agenda item 9, to note the temporary street closures, traffic management. To note the following: temporary closure of footpath 107 from 22nd of June to 21st of December 2026. Temporary closure of the A4 in part and King Henry Drive in part on the 23rd of June 2026 for 4 nights between the hours of 1900 and 23:59. And thirdly, temporary closure of Wicks Drive in part on the 29th of June 2026 for 2 days. And agenda item 10, items for communication. To consider any items for communication from this meeting to the public. Nope. And secondly, to consider any questions or actions from this meeting to refer to the Youth Council for their opinion and response. Nope. And the date of the next meeting of this committee will take place on Thursday, the 28th of May at 7 p.m. And that brings us to the end of what must have been the shortest head meeting in my entire career of chairing it. I can say that I will be stepping down as chair when we change over the in the new municipal year. So that's the last you'll have of me chairing. Hooray. But thank you very much, everyone, for your support and over the several years that I've been fulfilling this role. I've really enjoyed working with everybody. People have obviously come and gone. Particular thanks to Officer Sadie for your support, and particularly to Andy for your expert advice throughout. It's always been incredibly valuable. So thank you for that.
Chair, on behalf of the committee, can I say congratulations on your many years of service as chairing this committee. I think we all appreciate it very greatly. So I think everyone, big round of applause.